Welcome back. Doing a series of short videos. So if you have not watched the earlier ones, please do because it follows in a logical order. I downloaded some data from some NFL data. We looked at some columns and understood the statistics. And now in this module or in this video, let's look at some very basic plotting. Okay. So where we left off, we had taken the week, then we had calculated for each week how many games are happening in that week, which is also saying value counts, and then we sorted it by the week number, by index. Okay, so in the first week there were 16 games and so on. Now when you want to plot, it's as easy as just attaching, chaining as it's called, chaining a method called plot, and it plots it for us. But it's not so nice to look at, so I usually, for these kinds of, we should say kind is equal to bar. So we're going to do a bar plot. Let's understand what this is telling us. The bar plots have two axes. In the x-axis we are showing week, which is what we are showing, week by week, and the y-axis is the value count of that, which is the frequency, how many games happened in each week. Okay, now we could also do something different. So I could take the exact same data and do what is called a histogram. Okay, now bar plot and histogram look similar, but they're very, very different. A histogram is a distribution of numbers of numerical data for one column. In this case, we are taking the frequency of games in each week, and then we are seeing how they are distributed. Okay, and they're distributed like so. So most of the weeks, like for 8 weeks out of 17, 16 games happened. And in 4 of the weeks we had 15 games, 3 weeks had 14 games, and 2 weeks had 13 games. Okay, so a histogram and a bar plot are very different. Okay, a bar plot has two axes. The x-axis is usually what is called categorical. In this case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Week number 1, week 2, week 3. Y-axis is numeric. Histogram again is a distribution of one numeric value over. We are showing how it's distributed. So the x-axis is the numeric value and the y-axis is the frequency. Now you're asking, why are you making such a big deal of this, right? Is this important? So one way to, let me show you where I would probably use histogram. I can take home score and then I can subtract the away score. Okay, so this gives me the difference between what the home team scored minus what the away team scored. I can actually take that and score it in a variable called, let me call it home advantage score or something like that. Okay, so I've created a new variable in my data frame. Now again, remember what we are doing, home team minus away team. If this is a positive number, that means that the home team scored more and the home team won. If this is a negative number, that means that the home team scored less and the away team won. So now that I have this new column, let's look at what the column looks like. We've already seen it. A little bit of a lag. Okay, so this is what my column looks like, and then I can see how it's distributed. Okay, for that we'll show histogram. Now before we run this, as good data science people, as good analysts, we should think, what am I expecting to happen? I know that my x-axis will have all possible different score differences. If it is a lot of the data falls on the right side, that means that the home team advantage is real. If for whatever reason a lot of the points fall on the left side, on the away side, if it's a lot of negative numbers here, that means that there is actually an advantage to not playing in your home but to play outside. But let's see what the data shows us. Look at this. Let's understand the x-axis, minus 40 to plus 40. Okay, so in a few games the difference between the two team scores is as much as 40. That's a very big difference. But as you can expect, most of the games are close in NFL, so they're anywhere between, let's say, minus 5 to plus 5 points. Okay, so you win, but you win by a small margin. Now, one thing in a histogram is that there is something called a bin size or number of bins. Okay, so in this case, if I say that I wanted to make 10 bins, here is what I get. But I'm not able, everything is right around 0, so I'm not able to clearly get a sense. It seems like everything is evenly balanced. So I could do bins equal to 20, and again, look at how nicely it is peaked right around 0. Okay, that is an advantage, but if it is there, it's very, very minimal. Maybe we can do so If you want to show a different message, if you say bin is equal to 25, see now we've shifted it a little bit. Okay, the peak is happening. This is 0, this is 10, so this is around 5. Probably that peak is happening around 3 or 4 points. Okay. So again, the story, let me even say that, hey, let's just go overboard and say that 100 bins. And there. Now we can establish that yes, this is 0. So a little bit weightage to the plus side, but not by a whole lot. Maybe like most of the games seem to have a home team wins by a very small margin, 2 or 3 points. Okay, so that's what we have done. So if you, in this basic plotting video, we looked at how to plot a bar plot and a histogram. The last one I want to show you is how to do scatter plots. Okay, let's look at that next.